YouTubers, failed to and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Rant. Today I'm again joined by TheChudude and Baseballlover. How are you guys doing?
Hiya.
Hi.
Well, it's great to be back to the normal format compared to last week where it was just me, but the more the merrier, isn't that what they say? So, this week we're gonna focus on transfers because we're running out of topics, guys. If you have any topics you want us to talk about, please say it in the comment section below because we're running out of topics, so therefore we decided to focus on transfers this week. But transfers is a very heavy topic. We've been discussing it throughout the entire year, but let's wrap it up right here at this rant and let's get on going with it. So first up, we got the Pro Tour teams. We got AG2R La Mondiale. Let's talk about some of the main guys. So Baseballlover, what sticks out to you on AG2R?
Okay, so they didn't really lose anyone of importance except for Huderovich. Huderovich hasn't done anything much anyway, and they didn't really lose anybody else. They lost Chanel, Bouet, Apollonio, guys who haven't done anything in years or never did do anything. But what you do have is guys coming in like Jan Bakelants and a bunch of other trainees, young guys that don't matter, but Jan Bakelants. And he's shown that he can really do well in those kind of semi-hilly breakaway tour stages. And so that's a good signing for them. And I don't think they lost anyone too important through it.
I think Johan van Sumeren is also worth of mentioning. He has won PWB in the past, and
True.
he could do it again. It's probably not likely.
It's not really a game changing move. What's the key thing for AG2R is just keeping their core. I mean, they've got guys like Bardet, all those type of climbers, Perot, all those guys. As long as they keep them and build around maybe Bardet, I think they've got a pretty good team heading into the next couple of years. Really, I don't see Bardet really winning a Grand Tour, but you know, you just develop your riders, and who knows, maybe you get another rider and you build around him.
Well,
and then you got a really good domestique in Bardet.
There is the fat sack of potatoes that is Carlos Betancourt, and honestly, I would have fired him by now. I would have fired him by now, but
It's too expensive.
they're still staying with him, and
See, the thing
they're
is,
gonna
though,
try to nurse him to do whatever he can, but he doesn't have the ethics.
when you fire a guy, you have to pay them. Like, when you fire a guy, you can't just, we're ripping off your contract. Well, the reason there is a contract is so
unless
you
you're
can't
going
get
for
fired.
Lantern Rouge in every single race, they should fire him,
Well,
because he's not worth any money.
The thing is, though, that he's still got some sort of potential, and are you willing to pay, like, probably his contract says you have to pay him 6 months of payment or salary in case you fire him? And are you willing to pay that? Or just wait for his contract to run out, which it does this year, and then just hope he finds his form somehow? I mean, it's worth just waiting and seeing it out.
You get nothing out of just kicking him out anyway. Just might as well have him in there. Why not?
I guess.
Plus, he's a big name for sponsors, because he has done something in the past. He won Paris-Nice this year, didn't he? Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
So,
He did well there.
So yeah, he is a big name,
I mean,
both
having
for the
someone
good and
just
bad
do
sides.
well in one stage race for the year, yeah, might as well just keep him. Every year it shows up to Paris-Nice.
Well, it is a valid strategy. I mean, how many times did Andy Schleck only show up for the Tour de France in his career? So.
And look where he is now.
Well, I think Betancourt is headed the same way. Let's move on to the next team, Astana Pro Team, a team that's been in the news lately because of their doping scandals. It's probably still going to be like that next year when they're going to have new news of Jacob Forsang. Well, let's take a look at the team. So, Chu, who of the transfers really stands out to you?
I really like Rant. I mean, he's been in the past, like in these teams where he doesn't really belong. He's definitely not a leader, and Terame is going to be coming into Astana where he's going to be helping guys like Fabio Aru, Nibali. It just fits right in. That's a really good move. Other moves, they got a few young riders. Also Lars Bohm. We knew Lars Bohm was going to Astana since the Tour in that cobbled stage.
Yep.
He's going to be a good help to Nibali again this year in the Tour if he goes to the Tour. Because there is a cobblestone stage, and I don't know, Astana are pretty good all around. They got riders, climbers. They're probably one of the stronger Pro Tour sides right now. Definitely in contention to win Grand Tours this year. I didn't see much of these much bad moves or anything. I mean, they lose a guy like Yanni Brakovic, who wasn't not going to do much. Obviously, Did they lose the brothers already? The brothers are
Yeah,
gone.
the Iglinskis are gone. The Iglinskis got
Yeah, they're
terminated.
gone.
Well, they're banned for 2 years at least. So,
Yeah.
but they were terminated. Yeah.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
gone.
Astana on the right track as long as they don't get into much trouble with PR wise and all that.
Can you ever know that? I mean, they didn't even go to a World Tour race last year because they had to stay out of it, and then they got fined, and then like they're a total mess. They also got Dario Cataldo and Luis Leon Sanchez, so those are two
High-profile names.
high-profile names. I don't know. Dario Cataldo, it's good that he's coming from Sky,
Not gonna change
but he's
much,
going
though.
to Astana, so that's not really going to do anything to his career. And Luis Leon Sanchez, I mean,
What can he even do at this point in his career?
I don't know.
I'm really excited to see what Miguel Angel Lopez can do, because I read some news about him, some articles about him. He's supposed to be like the next Quintana as well. Like he is, I mean, he was hyped up a lot to see which team would pick him up, and then Astana was the fastest team to pick him up, and Colombian on that team doesn't really fit in, because he's like the only Colombian on the team, but from looking at his potential, could be good. I'm also interested to see why they bought Lawrence de Vresse from Vanti Gobert, because how many Belgians do they have on that team?
I don't think. Well,
0?
look at the people they bought: Kazakhstan, Netherlands, Italy, Belgium,
Well,
Colombia,
it's all over
Spain,
the place.
Estonia.
Well, the thing is, they had a ruined Nibali, so Italy made sense. Estonia made sense because of Kangert. Netherlands made some sense because they have Westra. But Lawrence de Vresse, that must not even
But why is Westra on the team? Like, these don't make sense.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they can't be a full Kazakhstan team because that would totally ruin any chances they ever had.
That would mean Vnukrov would have to come out of retirement to lead the team once again.
And then we would not watch that.
Yeah. Well, I actually think Janis Brajkovic going to United Healthcare is kind of comical, because United Healthcare is not known as it's one of the greatest teams in the sport, and Janis Brajkovic, one of the greatest talents of all time in cycling, just kidding, who's previously on the PCM Daily, actually, going to United Healthcare. That, for me, is just a joke. I mean, the guy with such raw talent that just never got to anything. I remember the year where him and Fulsang were supposed to be the captains in the Tour, and he crashed out early, like he always does. That was probably the year where he lost his career. What a shame. Also, to see Federic Keshakov, I can't pronounce that, is going to retire or maybe look to another team. It's a shame because he's also pretty good. He's good in time trialing, good in mountaining, riding mountains, but I guess cycling is just... Like, is cycling growing or is cycling, like, decreasing? Like, what's happening? Like, what do you guys feel right now?
Look at Pro Cycling Manager.
Well, that's dying.
That just says it all. But in terms of cycling, I feel like the money-wise it's going down. The less and less sponsors are willing to, invest into teams in cycling in general. But I feel like they still have potential to grow. I mean, there's a lot of bright sides I see in cycling. It can get over this hump, this doping scandal and all that stuff. And I think there's certainly a bright future. I mean, more TV coverage and more media is definitely going to help this sport, and we'll see if they get it in the future. Hopefully they will.
Next up is Belkin Pro Cycling Team, which will become Team Lotto NL, one of the two Lotto teams will be next year. Let's see who they got. They got George Bennett, a decent rider from Cannondale. Didn't do that much this year. Didn't he do something in the American races? I believe he was their captain.
Yeah, he's a decent climber, but he hasn't shown anything out of America, really.
No. So he fits in, Belkin. Got a bunch of decent climbers that don't really do anything. Kevin Newert is decent. Never heard of Banyan Lindemann. Never heard of him. And Tom Van Asbrook is a really big signing. He won the Continental rankings this year in front of Sonny Colbrelli. And I think Tom Van Asbrook is going to be one to look out for the future. He can be really, really great. The guys they got rid of, Malma is most noteworthy. He's going Trek Factory Racing. He's going to put his career at rest at Trek Factory Racing, that's for sure. He's not doing anything at Trek Factory Racing. Such a shame, but that's how sport works. What were you going to say, too?
I mean, it looks like Balkan or Lotto NL next year. It seems like they're rebuilding. I mean, they lost the sponsor at the time. That it looked like they're going to lose a lot of riders because of the team sponsor, and they lose a lot of big names. And really, next year they don't really have who they have. Van Mark, build around. They're going to have a lot of young riders, so that's a thing.
They've killed them, man.
They have guessing.
Yeah, I mean,
the upcoming talent.
They had. I feel like Malmo is such a big loss. I mean, they had him. He top 10 in a tour.
Yeah. With Tim
it
down.
seemed like he was going to be the big guy, and then they just let him go now. So that's a big loss for them. Also losing who was it?
Chia Boss.
Theo Boss. He's been gone for a while. We've known he's going to go to MTN, and he hasn't been doing anything. He needs to go to lower ranks.
And Lars Boom.
It's a shame.
But
Like I feel like they have lost way more this season than they're taking in. They lose so many guys, and the guys that don't matter, like Steph Clement, Loris Peter Nordog, Jonathan Hibbert, these are also really good domestiques. So, like, they're bringing in some young guys just to fill spots, almost like they're almost a pro Conti team now.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say that too. I'm really scared that they're going to get demoted at some point, because the talent they have on the team is good, but the actual raw power they have on the team now is decreased by a lot. It's quite a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the next team, BMC Racing. Run me through this. Actually, are they American or Swiss? Swiss.
They're American.
Okay, so run me
Swiss
through.
sponsor.
Run me through this American team, baseball lover.
Well, they actually did get one new American, and they lost no Americans, so there's your American team. They get in Damiano Caruso and Alessandro DeMarchi from Cannondale, who are two good signings. Both good climbers, fairly young fighters. You saw DeMarchi attacking at the Grand Tours basically every day. Rowan Dennis, of course, had already been there. And then you got, some young guys. You got Jean-Pierre Drucker, Campbell Flakemore won
Kid is
the
legit.
he won the
He's a freak.
TT, the under
he's an
23
engine.
TT.
Really? Is he that
Yeah,
good?
Yeah,
he's
he's-
not
he's
as good as
legit,
Ryan
yeah.
Mullen, but he's pretty good. And then Stefan Kung, I'd have never heard of this guy, but he's there. Joey Roscoff, we saw him in like the Tour of Utah
Yep.
and the USA Pro Challenge, like tearing it up. But he's a little old for that, honestly. I'm a little confused. He must be a late bloomer.
Are you kidding me?
Because
He's
he's already
1989.
He's already 25.
Yeah, but 25 is not bad, considering most guys actually peak when they're like 30 in the sport.
Well, yeah, but I think that it's a little weird for him to be, making a jump from a development team this late. Anyway, they did lose a bunch of guys. They lost Dominic Nurs, who was kind of like a young talent they had been brewing for, 5 years,
yeah.
and then he's gone. Steve Morabito, he was a good mountain domestique. Of course, they lose Hischoft and Evans because they retired, or Evans will win the Tour Down Under and the Great Sea
Catalogne's
Classica Day Tour de France, and then they lose Cummings and Iverson. So some domestiques they lose, one of their talents, and a lot of climbing, and then an old Hischoft. So.
What about Dylan Turns from BMC? Did you guys follow him at all in this? Towards the ending of the season, he got more races. Did you guys see him attack and pace and do all that sort of stuff?
I saw him a couple of times. I saw him. What was I watching?
I'm not sure what races.
Harry Tours or something.
Yeah, might have
And he
been.
was like attacking, but I mean, I don't really know what type of rider he is.
He's a powerhouse. I mean, I saw him race towards this end of the season, and I am looking forward to this guy growing on BMC. He looked really young. He looked like he was like 16 years old. He looks like a little kid, but nonetheless, that's to his advantage, because the other guys are gonna not give him the credit he deserves, because he's a powerhouse. He attacked away with, I believe it was Greg Van Avermaet in Paris Tours, and then they tried to catch up to Thomas Vauclair and Yellow Valais, but they didn't. But Dylan Tins did a lot of work in that stage, and he's going to be fun to watch for the future.
Yeah, for sure.
Chu, run us through FDGA. FDGA.
Yeah, the big signing was Kevin Reeser. Moves on from Europcar. Reeser had a pretty good year last year. He did pretty well at the Tour. I feel like he's going to be perfect for someone like Demar. He's going to be a pretty good lead out. Fits into the role. He could do something. Maybe with Arashiro, the duo they got there, and maybe in the classics. But the big move from FDJ was losing Buhani. I think it's a good move. Buhani was one of the bigger names, but it seemed like it was ruining the culture.
Yeah.
Not much of a loss, I see. I think it's going to help the team in the long term, really. Buhani was known to have a lot of arguments and all that good stuff.
Do you think Demar got rid of him, or do you think the head coach or the general manager got rid of him?
It would have been the general manager, but
Yeah.
apparently there was a lot of arguments and things
there was.
going on. Yeah.
He said something in the press about his general manager. I know we talked about this in the cycling on the podcast before, but he said something about a general manager that made him like disqualify him or just not race him the rest of the season, which ruined his world championship preparation, which is kind of funny. So that just showed that Nasser Bohani and FDJ had problems. So, probably one of the biggest news, or biggest transfer news this season is Garmin Cannondale for next season. I think Baseball Lover, you should get the honor of running through this new team.
Yeah. Okay, well, we kept a lot of the guys from Garmin, but we lost some big ones. First of all, I'm going to go with the losses first here. Mm-hmm. First off, we lost Tyler Farah, who, well, they kind of lost out on Viviani, so now they have no sprinters. So that's a thing. They have literally no one now. So I hope that Jonathan Vaughters can sleep at night because they don't have a sprinter. They obviously lost Millar because he retired, or Miller. I'm sorry, Phil Liggett ruined my childhood. Of course, they kind of put. You can kind of say that any guy from Cannondale that didn't go to the new team is leaving, but I don't really think so. They lost other teams that Garmin lost. They lost Phil Gaiman, who was a good domestique in his 1 year here. Lachlan Morton was a dudded talent. Raymond Crater was a nobody. Like, we didn't lose too much other than Farah that would do anything. Johan Van Summeren, obviously, we already talked about with AG2R. But with the ins, I'm a little bit struggling because we kind of lost guys and we're gaining back no talent. Betial, who even is that? Why do we have him? We got Ted King, the most useless American in the peloton. We have Alan Maragoni, who has been on Cannondale for 3 years, yet I never heard of him. We have
what's Dan Martin doing on there?
We have Moreno Moser, who did something like 4 years ago and then died. But we also get some good talents. We get David Formulo, who is a really good climbing prospect. Get Mate Maharik. I don't know how to say his name. But he's one of the best descender ever created by God. He's really good. And we also get David Villela, who's also a really good signing. But I think the best signing by Garmin was Joe Dombrowski, because at Sky, he was just, no, it was horrible. I hated having to see him like pace for Wiggins in the Tour of California. And I think that with Tom Danielson being an old fart now, I think that Joe Dombrowski can quickly take his role as that American stage race guy until Ryder Hagedal then, dies off in a couple of years, and then he'll take that role. So I think this is a very good situation for Garmin and Dombrowski, because they have someone to fill that role, as well as the fact that you have young guys on your team like Formulo and Dombrowski. These are some of the best climbing prospects around, and they get them. They also have some random guy, Norwegian. I'm pretty sure he did something notable, but I can't remember. Christopher Skeplerg or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then apparently, according to one of the articles that reading, Sam Bennett was rumored to come from Cannondale. But
isn't he
who's Sam Bennett?
Wait,
that's
that
not
the wrong
the same
Sam Bennett?
That's some other guy. I don't know. They give you a source. It doesn't make sense. He's from New Zealand. We're gonna disregard that because that's not actually happened.
It's George Bennett. According to this, it says
George Bennett, but it says
Sam Bennett. George Bennett
Sam
left.
Bennett. George Bennett already went to BMC.
Well, he went to Belkin, didn't he? Yeah, he went to Belkin.
Belkin, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's it for Garmin.
Small mistake. Well, the team is very promising for next year, I believe. I mean, they did get rid of some big guys, but they still have most of their talent mass. And also, like Dan Martin and where's he at? Ryder Hagedal are gonna carry the team anyway. Talansky's gonna cry and abandon the race.
No, that's not true.
That was such a good year. Then we got Lamper Marita on the next side of World Tour Teams Part 2. So, they aren't really getting anyone. I mean, they're getting Ruben Plaza, but Ruben Plaza is so old by now that it doesn't really matter. They've lost Anacona and Favilla and Weckerman. Kunigo didn't count, like he was worthless. But losing Anacona is huge. I think Anaconda was a bright star for the future, and losing him is sad, but...
I don't know. Anaconda, if you look at his age, I mean, he's already 26. Like, these guys...
That's not old.
It is old.
Not old at all.
Cycling,
That's
it
not
is
old.
definitely old to not be at all reaching form. Look at guys like Aru. They're not even close to 26, and yet they're still already showing
But they're
signs.
different
But
riding
then-
styles.
Then you look at guys like Wiggins and Evans who win the tour when they're
Wiggins
like
and Evans took dope.
30.
Yeah.
No, they did.
Well,
Yeah,
what-
but
Well, at
everyone
least
takes
Wiggins took dope.
Well,
And-
what's stopping Anaconda from taking dope and
Well,
Aru from taking dope?
what's stopping him is the new drug tests.
That's a load of wank wank.
But yeah,
That don't work.
in general, I believe Landon Morita, they came out slightly on the negative side, but not too badly.
It's a good thing.
They lost
I think it's a good
Kunigo.
thing. They need like a new young guys to build a new image. I think. I mean, they lose Horner as well, don't they?
Yeah,
Horner's not getting a
Yeah,
new
but
contract.
Horner's
Um,
dead.
but for Horner, get ready to look for the new tweets he had. If you guys remember last year, he just put like a whole night of just non-stop tweeting about his career and his best moments, trying to look for a new team, and that worked. I guess he found a spot at Merida. Also, his manager is Baden Cook. Also,
Yep.
he's trying to build himself a reputation as a good manager. So we'll
Yeah.
see where Horner's.
What would you
little
guess
story
if you would
ends
take like an educated guess? Where do you think Horner will go?
I don't think he'll ever find another team.
He's going to find a team. Someone's going to give him a contract,
Like,
whether it be
American
a Conti
Continental
team.
team said they didn't want him.
Yeah, but I know a certain team that said they did want him and they were in talks with him.
CCC Polsat,
Exactly.
but I still don't think he's going to go.
They came out to the press and said they wanted to get Horner, give him one last chance together with David Rebellin. So,
David
It is possible.
Revelin's going to leave CCC Polsat so he can go to the World Tour.
I don't think any World Tour team wants him. He's too high profile. I
Oh.
mean, if you ever
I
get
don't think
David Rebellin...
Horner's,
What?
I don't think Horner's year would have been that bad this year if he didn't crash as much. Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty brutal crash in the middle of the year. Who knows? He could have had a pretty good year this year. I mean, what's stopping him from having another good year next year?
Same thing with
The
Voeckler.
fact that he's like 50.
It doesn't matter though. He's still riding well. I mean, if he's still
Next up for Horner, the
Performing,
1 hour
yeah.
challenge, or the hour record.
The hour record up a mountain or something.
Yeah, that could totally happen. Make a velodrome that's going upwards. That would be next level stuff. Next up is Lotto Bellassar, and I feel like I want to take this because Taish Benoot together with Dylan Toynes were two of the biggest stars in this late season, close to off season. These guys were attacking non-stop. They wouldn't take no for an answer, and it was just fun to watch these guys. Those young guys, they were both strategists on the team. They had to prove to get on the team that they could do something, so they both just went out and non-stop attack together, and it was fun. Lotto Bellassar got a great guy there in Taish Benoot. They also got Jesper de Boist from Tosco Flandern. Don't know much about him. Thomas de Gent, a great rider from OPQS. Hasn't done much lately, but as a domestique for Vandenbroek, who might actually get fired, which is funny, he could do something. They lost Jonas van Genekten to IM Cycling, which is a shame because he's an upcoming sprinter, and Frederick Williams is now going to be a director sportif. What do you guys think about Lotto Bellassar's transfers? What do you think, Chu?
I don't know. I mean, it depends how good these young riders are. I hope they're good because Lotto seem like they need to rebuild right now because Jurgen Vandenbroek's not giving them anything. Greipel, he's still probably got at least 1 or 2 years left in him, and then they got to look for a new group of guys. I mean, they do have good sprinters, good young guys, but when we look at the climbers, it starts to... there's not much there, and even in the classics, you know, they had a big ride from Jali Van and Der this year early on, and then nothing happened after that. So they're probably looking for another guy to be the big rider for him, other than Greipel now. I mean, I don't see Jurgen Vandenbroek doing much this year. I mean, he hasn't been doing anything for the last 4 years. It seems like it.
What do you think, Baseball Lover?
I think that they really just didn't do anything. Like, they got a couple of young talents. They lost a couple of no-names, and Thomas de Gent will do screw all, so...
That's very true. I just looked up Taish Benoot's and Dylan Toynes' results on Pro Cycling Stats. They were actually really, really good. I mean, Dylan Toynes got top 5 on 2 stages of the Tour of Britain, and a 7th place as well in Tour of Britain stage. So he's not a bad climber, not a bad puncher. And Thijs Benoot did very good in the Tour of Denmark. That's where I noticed him first. And he also did very good towards the ending of the season in the Chimay Binche, where he got like 8th, helping his leader getting
That's
up
my
there.
favorite race besides Tahoe Lake.
Binche, Chimay Binche. It was actually a good race. It was Terpstra and Stibar winning that one. That's pretty good. Let's move on. Movie star. I guess you can take this one, Chew.
Okay, they got Anaconda, really good signing. Fits right into all their climbers. They got helping out Quintana, Valverde, all those type of guys. Also got Ruben Fernandez, Rory Sutherland from Tinkoff. He's actually a decent climber. I mean, very underestimated. He's a pretty experienced guy. Will fit right in. Actually, I don't know if he'll fit in. I don't know if he speaks Spanish or not. That could be a problem.
Hola.
But yeah, yeah. But most they're just going to expand on the climbing group, and it's going to be perfect. Really like that. Grand Tours next year. Quintana going to be probably the man to beat for the tour. Looks like I don't know what they're going to do next year with Valverde and Quintana. But I hope they bring them both to the tour. Bring Anaconda as well.
Is Marc Soler related to?
No, he's not. I looked it up.
I was gonna do that. Oh, that'd be funny. The other guy's Mauricio Soler.
Yeah.
So they're not related.
There's
That's
no way it could like be his son or something.
No, but it could be like a cousin or.
I guess, but
something
it didn't
like that.
say anything. So.
He's from Spain, and Mauricio Soler was from Colombia, I believe, or South Africa.
Yeah.
One of those two. He rode on well, that was the Baseballlover312. That was a great team. I missed that team. That was back when Chris Froome was on Baseballlover312 as a time trialist. Damn, times have changed. Next up, Omega Pharma Quickstep, which will become Ethics Quickstep because Omega Pharma changed their name to Ethics. So it's still the same sponsors, just a different name. Don't know why they would do that.
It's a strategy to get people to buy their Ethics products. They did the same thing with Lotto. When they were sponsoring Lotto, they were always Omega Pharma Lotto, but they put like Predictor Lotto, David Tamon Lotto, Silence Lotto. Like these are all their companies.
Damn. Okay, then Baseball, you can run through this team.
Okay, so Omega Pharma, they get Maxime Bouet, Dela Cruz, Lampard, Wisniewski, Sabatini. Nobody. They got nobody.
What?
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
They got nobody. They got Lampard, who's okay.
A huge talent.
He's a pretty good talent. He's all right. Not as good as like Dombrowski. But anyway,
that's some nationalism coming in there.
Jan Bakelants leaves. Nobody else noteworthy leaves besides Wout Poels, who goes to Sky, where he can put his career in a ditch and bury it. And then they lose Pataki, but
I mean, come on.
Is Pataki still riding?
No.
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean,
they lost Andrew Fenn as well. He was the really big talent that never did anything since he was put in. So
that's true. But you gotta give you Lampard some credit. I mean, he is shaping up to be one of the next cobblestone contenders, like the next Sapphire Marquez. So I'm looking forward to him. I mean, don't say nobody when you get some big talents on your team. I don't know about the rest of the Cruz doesn't really do anything, but next up, Chew, I think you should run through Orca Greenwich because I think they're one of the big winners of this transfer window.
Yeah, obviously probably get rid of Matt Goss, a huge contract off the books, which seems like a good idea. I mean, Goss needs a new home and he gets one, but they get a man. Cape Ewan's been obviously around since Beijing. Magnus Cort, who's apparently the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's been tearing it apart in the amateurs. Adam Blythe, who's came out of nowhere from commentating. Jack Haig is actually a really good guy. I was really happy they got Jack Haig. He's a climber, very young climber. I follow him on Strava, so he's doing a lot of Ks. So he rode 160 Ks like 2 days ago.
Wow, that's more Ks than I've ridden ever.
I know, right?
And but I was disappointed they didn't get Campbell Flakemore, who went to BMC. He's like a huge engine. He would have fit right in like with the TT train they got here. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing because we've lost like a few of, who was it? Nathan Earl went to Sky. I was really hoping he went to Green Edge as well. But yeah, we're losing guys. But then you get guys like Ewan and Haig, who's really balances out a lot. But they're looking for a climber, and hopefully, maybe Magnus Court can.
He's not really a climber. He's a puncher. Like he's a Simon Gerrans kind of rider. He likes to.
Well,
he's more
Garen's
like Saga to me.
got a free contract, so he's gonna be 37 when that contract ends.
Well,
I think that.
I mean, he deserves a contract from the year he had, but they're probably going to be paying him a
old,
lot for this
and he's going to die, and Dan Martin's going to sweep away his ashes and take the Liège win.
Well,
again.
if you've been following the backstage pass, you kind of see Simon Gerrans as the leader of the team. Like he is kind of the man who goes up and helps everyone. So even though he doesn't do anything on the road, like when he gets older, when he becomes worse, but I still think the fact in the bus he's going to be such a big factor.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
he deserves a contract, but does he deserve that star contract again?
Yeah, I think he does.
I think he does. Yeah, I mean, he's done everything that was said as a gold issue, pretty much.
Yeah. Wait, who won the Espadon this year?
Gerrans.
Yeah.
Some Aussie.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the biggest thing you can win in the Ardennes, and I think he deserves it.
I think that the biggest thing you could win is Il Lombardia.
No, I believe somebody crashed in the Liège-Bastogne-Liège range, who basically had the race in the bag, but then crashed somehow. Who was that again?
Somehow.
Yeah, isn't it?
that Kwiatkowski?
Unknown reasons.
Yeah.
It wasn't Kwiatkowski. Who was it?
Wait, was he Irish? I believe it
I
was
don't
Martin.
think so.
Something Martin. Was it Tony Martin? No. It was Dan Martin. Now I get it. Now I know why you're so upset.
Oh.
I just forgot. Sorry. Next up, Team Europe car. Don't really think anything happened to this team. I mean, if you look at this, it's just a bunch of nobodies coming in and a bunch of nobodies coming out. Yeah.
They did lose Reza.
And Bjorn Thoreau, but that's like on the low end side. Maybe Malakern too, but these are all guys who like to attack and be in the breakaway, get some sponsor time.
They got an Irish rider from An Post Chain Reaction. That's kind of weird.
Well, they got Dan Craven, which got the best beard in the entire peloton. Where is he from?
Namibia.
What the heck is that? No. I'm actually lying. The best beard in the peloton is Rasmus Quaid. Rasmus Quaid.
What about Luca Paolini?
No.
Simon Geschke.
Let me just show you Rasmus Quaid's beard.
Hagedal had an awesome beard during the tour.
You can't tell me that this beard is not epic. Okay, I'm gonna share it to you in Skype. Look at Rasmus Quaid's beard. Like, it's just... You gotta admit, that is some
That's
quality.
not a beard.
That's such a beard. That's a French beard.
It's a mustache.
Same thing. Here, I can only grow a mustache and I can grow a beard. See, for me to be ready for November, I have to start early October.
Oh, I just do no shave November.
Well, you don't really grow facial hair.
Yeah, it's awesome. I don't even have to put any effort into it.
Back on topic. Next up, Team Giant Shimano. Anyone worth mentioning? I mean, Ransberg? Jens van Ransberg might be worth mentioning.
Ludvigsen.
Why?
They get Ludvigsen. He's a good young talent. I think he's a time trialist.
Yeah, like his brother.
His brother, like, I just remember his brother crashing.
Oh, in the Shiro?
Crash. Yeah,
They lose Reinhardt, but who cares? Allstrand was useless.
Dries Devenets is okay, but he left.
He was alright. He was the only real cobble help for Degenkov, so that's a bit of a hit. The other guys are just talents.
Okay. Chu, you want to run through Team Katusha?
Yeah, they got a bunch of random Russians and European random guys that no one knows who they are.
But Russians than Tinkoff.
You don't know these guys?
They got Thiago Machado, who's a beast. I don't know the rest though.
Bustrom is a big sprinter. Bustrom is like the next Christoph.
Well, he's from Team Osterhuis Ridley, which I've never heard of.
That's a Norwegian continental team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't follow Norwegian.
If you've heard of Sondre Holst Inger, then Bustrom is basically his twin. So, like they're exactly the same.
Yeah, well, Katusha tend to get really good guys that no one know, and like it fits him really well. And they've got look. They got Rodriguez is old now. I don't know what Rodriguez could do next year. Maybe he can still fight for a classy. They got Gianpaolo Caruso is a beast and really underrated. One of the most underrated riders in the peloton. Daniel Moreno didn't do much this year, but Christoph is the big guy now, the big dog, taking over the team.
True. They didn't really lose anyone either. I mean, Vicioso retired. It's the biggest name. They didn't even lose him. Like, they had to get rid of him, so... Other than that, I think they were just fine. But Baseballlover, I think you're going to love to take the next one. Do you see the next one on the list?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Go right ahead.
So, Team Sky are back at it, taking everyone's second GT guy and making them into Mountain Domestique number 37. And so, what they did is they decided to sign Leopold Koenig, Wout Poels, and Nicholas Roche, all of whom are going to do absolutely nothing while they're on this team. However, they did get rid of Joe Dombrowski, who goes to Garmin, and Dario Cataldo left, didn't even try to negotiate. They also lost Bokenstenhagen, but that's irrelevant. I think that when these guys are in October next year and thinking, when did I have my one chance at a stage this year? Oh yeah, never. They're going to really regret taking the money.
Well, they live a nice life, so... If you don't care about stage wins, so... I mean, it's, I can see why anyone would go to Sky to get the money, but also, if you were just a decent human being, you probably wouldn't go there.
Yeah, exactly.
And also it seems like they got, like, really nice, I don't know, training equipment, facilities, bikes, all that good stuff.
Death
That's
Star.
a nice place to be.
Have you seen their bus?
How do you not want to be in that bus, like, every day?
God.
How do you not want to be...
You just
like,
don't
if you're in,
want to.
If
You
you're
don't
in
wanna
Europe
be.
car, like, the $10 van...
No,
like,
not up.
You just don't want to be a dead souled person. You want to have a live soul, not a dead soul.
If you've seen Fire's Nice Tour de France vlogs, I filmed Team NetApp's mini truck next to the Death Star, Sky's bus. It was hilarious. Like, they could barely fit 6 riders into the NetApp truck. But then right next to it is a Sky bus that
they
fills...
were just, like, lying down.
It was fun. It was epic. But I gotta say, Team NetApp, living 23 days out of that little truck they had, I would not have done that. That was horrible. It was like an auto camper. It's horrible. Like, look it up. Look up Team NetApp's auto camper, and you'll know how bad their conditions are in such a pro-continental team. Let's move on. Tinkoff Saxo Bank. I will personally take this one because you all know that I love Tinkoff Saxo Bank. So, Ivan Basso coming. This is the stupidest transfer I've ever seen. I mean, what's the point? I mean, this is just to buy him so you can get him as a coach when he retires this year. I mean, that's the only reason I see him coming on the team. Maybe because he's a previous, like, runner-up to the Tour. Well, wait, did he win the Tour now that Lance Armstrong lost it?
No.
Or there's just a big gap in the... there's just a big gap, isn't there?
Yeah, there's the big gap. Nobody...
Oh, that's stupid. Then they got Bodnar, which is a really good purchase. I think Bodnar is a great rider. They've got Pavel Brut, who doesn't really do anything. Kiselowski, it's going to be the next Roach. Like, he's just going to do what Roach and Rogers did. Like, if they've got a captain for a race, he's going to lead them out. If not, he's going to go and try to win the stage win or get the polka dot jersey. And then you've got Jurai and Peter Sagan, which you've heard me talk about many times before. Peter Sagan coming here is a strange choice, but it can work out. And I think Tinkoff Saxo Bank had a great transfer window regarding ins. Going out, I didn't even know Rasmus Schoolhammer was on the team. He used to be such a big talent.
He was like a stager. He wasn't like an actual rider.
Oh, but he's a big talent, just not anymore. Carsten Krohn retires.
What do you mean, not anymore? He's only 25.
Well...
He's going back into development.
Yeah, compared to the big and hype that was around him.
Energy, which is like basically.
Yeah, he even came he came from Trevor Cycling to Tinkoff, then back to Cold Energy. I mean, what the heck? You're going the wrong direction, Goldhammer. Then Marco Kump decided to leave, which was a good choice for him. He did pretty good in the Tour of Denmark last year. I remember talking to him. Nice guy. Roche left to go to his own funeral at Sky. Roy Sutherland with the weirdest transfer. I think the weirdest transfer of this window goes to Roy Sutherland. Like, what is he doing at Movistar?
From a Danish-Russian team to a Spanish team for an Australian.
It's like, what? It makes no sense. Movistar don't need him. I guess they do. Well, Trek Factory Racing.
TheChudude.
You can take this one too, dude.
Yeah, we've talked about Mollema. You know, I think it's going to work. Trek need the climber. They got big Andy gone. Frank is on the out. But then again, he did pretty well at the tour. Got top 15 or wherever he got, top 30.
Wow, that's so great.
Triple D a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to got older. Lost Yenzi. Mollema's going to be...
Zerlovsky.
Who?
What?
Oh, yeah,
How can you say
yeah,
who?
they did, but I think Mollema's going to fit in. He's better. I think he's better than Kizlovsky. I think he's got more potential. But I think I don't know what can he do this year. Top 10 at the tour again? I don't know.
Probably.
How good can he be? I don't know. Maybe go for the classics. Better option.
One thing I do know is that I'm gonna miss Jens Vogt. Just watching this like little text that says Jens Vogt retires after the 2014 season makes us sad. Thank God though we do have the Jens Vogt soundboard, so you're not completely missed, but you will be missed, Jens Vogt. Good times. Speaking of Jens Vogt, his hour record, in case you missed it, just got beaten by Matthias Brandl, but in a year's time, isn't that what Wiggins said? He's going to beat it in a year's time at Mallorca. I believe he said that. So if you wanted to have a try at the hour record and actually beat it, do it now before Wiggins goes at it.
Wow.
I knew that hint would work. I knew Baseball Hour would find it. Mission successful. Baseball Hour, would you please go through Cofidis?
Okay, I will go through Cofidis. So they got Alstrand, who's useless, Chanel, useless, Chateau, useless, Roelan, useless, Rosetta, useless, Sub, useless, Kenneth Van Bilsen, godly, Van Steen, godly. Okay, those are two great talents. The other guys are pretty much useless. However, they did revamp their entire team by getting big old Nasser Buhani, which guarantees them a wild card to 2 Grand Tours, I think. And I think they'll go to the Vuelta and the just like when they had Moncoutier, they were always getting Vuelta wild cards, and I think that'll work this year as well. However, they did lose some climbers. They lost Capel and Terame, but I really don't think they're focusing on climbs anymore. It's been a slow kind of drag away from the team that had like 3 or 4 different climbers when they had Moncoutier, and now it's basically a sprint team. But there aren't really too many Pro Conti French sprint teams. Like that's a really unique team identity, so I think they'll do pretty well. And plus, like I said, they have Kenneth Van Bilsen, which means that if they get wild cards to the cobbled races, they'll win the cobbled races.
Do you think if you
Shane
would
Al's
put...
a good rider too.
He is?
Yeah,
Well, I guess he...
in the classics he did pretty well.
Yeah.
Could be a good.
He was alright.
Do you think if you put... if you put money on Van Bilsen to win the Paris-Roubaix right now, how much would that give back?
100 times back.
That would give me back like all
1,000?
the money in the world.
Because he is actually an honest possibility. Because you saw him attack, and if the weather conditions change mid out through the race and stuff happens and Hoogerland happens again, I mean, they could win.
Kenneth Van Bilsen is gonna win, so
Let's all hope for that.
he goes out on the cobbles all the time.
Something like a pig every day.
That is Jens Vogt for you. Next up, I Am Cycling, one of the new World Tour teams, which was just announced a few days ago. They will be a World Tour team, which mind boggles Baseball over now, because they don't really have any high talents or high profile names on the team, but they got it anyway. You want to run through this team too?
They didn't really. Well, they lost Larsen Loves. I can't even say his name.
Lofquist.
Yeah, that Swedish fellow.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got all these. They got Capel, Clement, all these other guys who's just randoms. But yeah, I don't think they really wanted to be in the World Tour. Like I've heard them say, I've heard someone in the team say that they didn't want to be in the World Tour. They're pretty comfortable with Pro Conti. I mean, they've got riders like Chavanel, Heinrich Hausler. So they've. When I was looking at it this year, I felt like I Am Cycling probably were the strongest Pro Conti team. It makes sense to put them in the World Tour. Again, when they go to the World Tour, I don't really know if they're strong enough. It feels like the lower couple teams in the World Tour every single year now. It's going to get weaker and weaker, and the stronger teams is going to get stronger and stronger, and it might be a thing to lessen World Tour teams, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you have less World Tour teams, it means more wildcards, and so you can especially put better teams for different types of races. So, example, you might have like a cobbled or a one-day classic continental team for a wild card, whereas in the tour you might put a climbing conti team in it. So you can kind of mix and match to suit better teams or better races, and that could be a thing. I hope that's the case, because it gets to the point where the bad teams are just really bad and they go nowhere in the World Tour race.
Britannia in the tour this
suck.
year.
Yeah.
That was
it's going to be
horrible to
brutal.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very true though, but I Am Cycling, they are going to be forced to reckon with in the World Tour, but I see why they would like to stay a pro continental team, because they don't really have what it takes to really compete at that level. But next up, Baseball Lover, I think you should take this one, because I know one certain rider is on this team which you adore.
Well, MTN went full retard, and they got rid of their only semi-climbing guys in Pardilla and Gerdeman, and they got Bosenhagen, Boss, Farah, and Goss. And they just took sprinters. No lead out men. Sprinters. They just took sprinters. They took Serge Pals as well as Jans van Rensburg and Nathaniel Burhane, but who cares about them? They took 4 World Tour sprinters. Not the greatest World Tour sprinters, but still 4 World Tour sprinters. And I'm very interested to see how the hell they plan on running their team.
I think it's the team that's most exciting to look forward to next season. I'm definitely going to be looking at how this team unfolds and what type of start list they bring to the big races. It's going to be interesting. What are they going to do? Are they going to have a little race off at the start of the year, and one person gets the nod for the Grand Tours, or it's going to be definitely very interesting.
I hope they succeed.
This team just makes me think,
What the fuck?
Well, I hope they succeed, because there's so many riders on this team that deserves a second chance, which they didn't ever get, but they're getting it now. And a tactic they could use is try to get a wild card to every single Grand Tour, and
think they
just
could.
bring other races. Yeah, because Evo Bosenhagen could do fine at the Welter and the Giro, where Theo Boss, Tal Ferran, and Matt Goss are more of a tour rider.
Well,
so
the thing is, all of these guys are pretty much on 1-year contracts, and basically they're pretty much racing for their life, really, for their job next year, the year after. And what might happen is everyone just doesn't work as a team and just goes for stage wins, and nothing ends up happening.
See, I'm just wondering, how is their lead-out train going to work out? They have all those great guys. Who's going to leading out who?
that's what I'm saying. It's a mess.
Yeah. I mean, Jens van Rensburg is going to be the designated workhorse, and he's going to be leading out because he did that this year for a Degen Cup, so he's going to do it again next year. But he's got the potential to be his own sprinter as well, so are they going to use him, or are they going to sprint with him?
They're never going to sprint with them because there's just too many of them.
What they need now is to hire an expert lead out trained coach guy. And,
Robbie McEwen.
Yeah, set that all up. And
well, who would you hire if you had to pick one of the sprinters, the legendary sprinters, as your coach? Who would you be coached from? Who would you choose?
Well, they definitely need up to Chaparov. They need some aggression in them. Matthew Goss, Tyler Farrar, both little girls, even Tia Boss, they need Abdul Japarov to beefing themselves up and just shove some elbows out and win some bloody races, which these guys haven't been doing in the past.
True. I think I would take Mario Cipollini, because there was a video of him here the other day where he was doing Zumba.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my expression as well. Oh my god, that was horrible. But he's a funny guy, and he could sprint. He was Super Mario. He could sprint. Who would you pick, Baseball Lover? One legendary sprinter to teach you how to sprint.
Fucking Jens Vogt.
Other than Jens Vogt.
No.
I don't know. I would probably pick, like... McEwen could be good. How about...
Frere?
Eric Zabel.
Zabel? Wait, he's coaching BMC right now, isn't he?
Yeah, but they could just get rid of him.
True. Or they could also get Julian Dean, who nobody knows.
Julian Dean would make a great sprint coach.
Yeah, he is
And he's
a coach
worked
right now.
with Farah, so...
True. Yeah, he's been in
He,
lead out
he
there
made
before.
Farah win races, so he can do it again.
Exactly. Let's move on to the final team on this list. We're going to skip Rampood Orange Cycling Team because for some reason they're mentioned
They're
as an
fat.
important team, but they're not an important team.
Well, they're just fat, so...
Exactly.
Got the Craters. They got
Johnny
Google
Hoogland. That's the only
Who
notable.
finally got paid after 3 years of court settlements. I mean, that's funny. Like
This is what Johnny Hoogland said as he was going into the vent.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
That's probably not ethically correct saying that right now after you went into the fence. But let's look at Team Bora, which is previously known as Team Nedabindura. So they're going to be called Team Arcus 18, Team Bora Arcus 18. That's what they're going to be called next year. They got Dominic Nurse as their biggest name, and they lost a lot. Like, they lost to La Cruz, Koenig, and Machado. Those are basically the three biggest guys on the team that they lost. So they're going to have a tough time getting wildcards next season.
They lost their biggest three guys. They got Nurs, who's a good young climber, but he's not going to buy them wildcards. Honestly, with this team, I wouldn't give them a wildcard to a Grand Tour.
Well, they need a Chris Horner to give them
They'll
wildcards.
get some wildcards to stage races, and Sam Bennett's a good young sprinter, but they really don't have anyone.
True. It's a shame, though, to
Right.
see such a good team just fall apart because they sold their three best guys.
Seems like it's going to be like a cycle with a team like this. You know, you're going to keep bringing in young, good guys, and the bigger teams is going to buy them off them because they just simply don't have enough money. Obviously, they can't get a big enough sponsor. So it's going to be like a cycle that's going to happen over and over again, and they can't do much about it.
They got so many young talents as well.
Like, look at this. If one of these guys do become like a Koenig, if not even better, what's going to happen next? A Tinkoff or Movistar?
Sky.
They're just going to buy him. Yeah, exactly. They're just going to buy him off him. And what are they going to do about it? Really, do nothing.
True. So, guys, that was it for the transfers. I know we talked about these before during the year, but we wanted to wrap it all up into one weekly rant. If you guys have any other topics you want us to discuss, please put in the comment section below because we're running out. There's nothing to discuss. I mean, there's no races. There are no more transfers happening.
There are racists.
Yeah, but there are some random facts here and there, like Hugoland getting some money finally after 3 years.
Brandel beating Jens Voigt in the hour record already, so that lasted a long time.
Not that long.
That made Jens Voigt go.
Well, also, if you might have missed the last week's weekly rant, I am gonna quit this YouTube or this PCM at some point, and I'm gonna go to a cycling hub my own way now. But last week,
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, but wait. Last week I showed you guys cyclinghub.ktb.ninja. It has been improved a bit. If you want to follow the work we're doing on it right now, just look like twice a week or something like that. There's going to be improvements every day until the release. You're going to see the URL on screen right now. Thank you guys for watching this week's weekly rant. Please go to TheChudude's channel, who is still doing somewhat PCM at this point of the year. You're doing Bruno Sancho with Baseball Over. Go to Baseball Over. He's also somewhat doing PCM. You're doing BCL, which is never finishing.
VCL is on stage 17, and it's only been 3 months, so...
Exactly. It's gonna be good, guys. But thank you guys for watching. It's an hour-long episode just for you guys. See you guys next week.